Ladies and gentlemen, if your mind is exhausted, your strength is an illusion. Heal the mind first, then watch life obey. A healthy life doesn't begin in the gym. It doesn't start on a plate of perfect food or a calendar full of routines. A healthy life begins quietly, in the mind. The mind is the command center of everything you are. Every decision, every reaction, every dream you chase or abandon, it all starts there. When the mind is crowded with fear, doubt, and unspoken pain, the body follows. The mind is where everything begins. Long before your body takes a step forward, the mind has already decided whether you will rise or retreat. It is the quiet control room behind every action, every reaction, every choice you make when no one is watching. When the mind is clear, focused, and disciplined, the body follows with strength and purpose. But when the mind is neglected, overworked, overwhelmed, or filled with doubt, it sends confusion through the entire system. The body doesn't fail first, it listens first. Every heartbeat, every breath, every movement is shaped by what the mind carries. Stress doesn't just live in thoughts. It tightens muscles, weakens immunity, and steals rest. Fear doesn't stay invisible. It shows up as fatigue, tension, and exhaustion. That is why caring for the mind is not a luxury, it is maintenance. Just like a strong engine needs clean fuel, a healthy life requires mental clarity and emotional balance. When you train the mind to stay calm under pressure, you train the body to endure. When you teach the mind to focus on solutions instead of chaos, you teach the body to conserve energy instead of wasting it on worry. A centered mind turns challenges into commands: breathe, adjust, move forward. And here's the truth most people overlook. Discipline begins in thought, not in action. Motivation fades, but a trained mind remains. It reminds you to rest when needed and push when necessary. It knows the difference between quitting and recovery. It protects you from burning out while pretending to be strong. If you want a healthy life, start where control truly lies. Guard your thoughts. Choose what you feed your mind. Give it silence, purpose, and patience. Because once the command center is strong, everything else, your body, your habits, your future, falls into alignment. Inner peace is not the absence of struggle, it is the ability to stand steady while life tests your balance. It is the quiet power that keeps your hands steady when pressure rises and your heart calm when the world demands more than it should. A peaceful mind doesn't escape reality. It meets it with clarity. And when clarity leads, strength follows. When the mind is constantly at war, the body carries the wounds. Tension settles into the shoulders, exhaustion seeps into the bones, and rest becomes shallow instead of restorative. But when inner peace takes root, the body responds with resilience. Breathing deepens. Sleep heals instead of just passing time. Energy returns, not because life became easier, but because the mind learned how to release what it cannot carry forever. Outer strength is often mistaken for force, pushing harder, going longer, proving more. True strength is quieter. It knows when to slow down without guilt and when to step forward without fear. Inner peace sharpens judgment. It prevents emotional storms from turning into physical breakdowns. It teaches the nervous system that survival does not require constant tension. A calm inner world allows you to face challenges without letting them define you. You stop reacting and start responding. You stop absorbing chaos and start setting boundaries. And those boundaries protect not just your emotions, but your health, your focus, and your future. Peace is not something you wait for after success. It is something you practice on the way there. It is built in moments of stillness, honest reflection, and self-respect. And once it becomes part of you, your strength stops being fragile. It becomes steady, enduring, unshakable. Because when peace lives within you, your strength no longer depends on circumstances. It rises from the inside, and the world can feel it. Every life is built quietly, one thought at a time. Long before routines take shape, a single idea is repeated in the mind, again and again, until it feels normal. Those thoughts, whether hopeful or heavy, begin to guide behavior without asking permission. And over time, behavior hardens into habit. This is how a life is formed, not in grand moments, but in daily mental conversations we rarely notice. A healthy mind pays attention to those conversations. It understands that what you think consistently, you practice unconsciously. Thoughts of self-doubt become habits of hesitation. Thoughts of fear become habits of avoidance. But thoughts rooted in patience, belief, and self-respect become habits of care, discipline, and growth. The body follows these habits faithfully, shaping health, energy, and endurance around them. Habits are powerful because they don't require motivation. They run on repetition. That's why a calm morning routine can lower stress before it begins, and why constant negative self-talk can drain strength without any physical effort at all. The mind teaches the body what to expect. When the mind expects struggle, the body braces. When the mind expects progress, the body prepares. Changing a life doesn't require changing everything at once. It requires changing one thought and repeating it until it becomes familiar. One healthier belief practiced daily becomes a habit. One habit, protected over time, becomes a lifestyle. And that lifestyle becomes your reality. The discipline of thought is the foundation of long-term well-being. Choose thoughts that support healing, not harm. Choose patience over pressure. Awareness over autopilot. Because when you guide your thoughts with intention, your habits align with strength, and your life begins to reflect the quiet power of a healthy mind. Before the body can rise, the mind must feel safe enough to let go of survival mode. Healing the mind is not about erasing pain, it is about understanding it, honoring it, and no longer allowing it to run your life. Every scar you carry began as a moment you endured. But when pain is ignored instead of processed, it doesn't disappear. It settles quietly, shaping thoughts, reactions, and even health. The first victory is not strength in motion, but peace in awareness. It is the moment you stop pretending you are fine and start listening to what your mind has been asking for all along. Rest instead of resistance, compassion instead of criticism, truth instead of silence. When the mind begins to heal, the body follows with relief. Tension loosens, breathing deepens, energy returns not through effort, but through release. Healing is not loud. It doesn't announce itself with instant transformation. It happens in small decisions. Choosing sleep over burnout, boundaries over guilt, honesty over endurance. Each choice tells the nervous system that it no longer has to fight every moment. And in that safety, real strength is rebuilt. A healed mind does not forget the past. It learns from it without reliving it. It understands that survival was necessary, but thriving requires something more. It requires forgiveness. For others, yes, but especially for yourself. Forgiveness for what you didn't know, for how you coped, for the times you carried too much alone. This is where true health begins. Not in perfection, but in permission. Permission to pause. Permission to heal. Permission to move forward without dragging yesterday behind you. When the mind wins this battle, life opens up again, not heavier but lighter. Not forced, but free. So before you chase strength, check your peace. Before you push your body harder, ask what your mind is carrying. Because no victory lasts when the mind is broken behind it. A healthy life is not built on force. It is built on clarity, on balance, on the courage to heal what cannot be seen. When you protect your mind, you protect your future. When you train your thoughts, your body follows. And when inner peace becomes your foundation, life stops feeling like a battle and starts moving with you. Remember this: a healthy mind doesn't just support a healthy life, it creates it. Now choose wisely. Guard your thoughts, honor your peace, and step forward strong, steady, and whole. Thanks you.